Joining us now is Joshua Landis. He is director of the Center for Middle East Studies at the University of Oklahoma. And Joshua, good to talk to you again. Is there any chance in blank?
Good to talk to you.
Any chance in blank that this ceasefire will hold?
It doesn't seem like Lakhdar Brahimi will be a magician if he can get this to work. Nobody who I've talked to today thinks that there is a chance that this can hold, because the government has a terrible record with ceasefires, and the opposition is very fragmented. A number of groups in the opposition have said that they're not going to abide by it, although the main groups did. But they said they're going to abide by it as long as the other side doesn't carry out any operations. And it's not even clear what operations are. Does that mean moving men, getting material up to the front lines? Very unclear.
So, Joshua, why isn't this simply an opportunity for both sides to rearm, to retrench? Isn't that what this time ultimately is most likely to be used for?
Well, in theory, it could be used for that. But there's been a lot of activity on the ground today, as we've heard from Aleppo. The rebel troops moved into 3 neighborhoods in Aleppo. They seem to have been pushed out here by the afternoon, Ashrafia and 2 Christian neighborhoods. But it's been very dynamic on the ground. All sides are looking to increase their position. There's been shooting right up to the deadline, which is coming, in a few moments, really. And so it just seems almost impossible, because somebody is going to want to break this ceasefire and start shooting. And then all hell can break loose, and it's very dynamic on the ground.
So let's put our hats on and hope for the best possible outcome here that says that the ceasefire holds. What happens the day after the ceasefire ends? And I'm wondering if there is anything to suggest that the negotiations that led to the ceasefire, at least being agreed to, could provide a basis for some kind of a real deal to be brokered.
Well, I don't think so. Many different rebel leaders have been saying that they don't want to negotiate with a dictator. They want to see him out of Syria. He has to resign. Assad hasn't given an inch of room on negotiations. He wants to regain the entire country and impose his rule. He's using his air force to smash the rebel troops the rebel neighborhoods that have been taken, even when he doesn't have troops to get there. This situation that seems to have been a stalemate is still moving back and forth. The rebels are trying to cut the main Damascus-Aleppo highway and take Aleppo. That's their big objective right now. The government still has 6,000-7,000 troops there and a number of Shabiha, but there aren't enough soldiers for the government. So the rebels have every interest to continue to push their advantage and try to use their numbers. But of course, their arms are insufficient, and they don't have the heavy arms that the regime has.
So, Joshua, last question on a percentage basis. You know how we do this. 100% being the ceasefire holds. What are the chances that this ceasefire, in fact, does hold?
It's going to be a miracle. It'll be a miracle. I don't think anybody's giving it more than 1% chance here. And you don't want to be a betting man in a situation like this, but very slim chance. I mean, it is possible that both sides would say, we're going to have an Eid and it's time for a break, but it's so dynamic on the ground that anything can happen.
Joshua, appreciate it. Joshua Landis is the director of the Center for Middle East Studies at the University of Oklahoma. Joshua, thank you.